Well, all right, fellas. Let's go!
You're listening to CFRN, the Christian Financial Radio Network.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/CFRN. Over 85,000 titles. Choose from mystery, romance, religion, science, technology, business, New York Times bestsellers, even children's books. You name it, Audible has it. With 85,000 titles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect audiobook for yourself or to give as a gift, and it's absolutely free. Just point your browser to audibletrial.com/CFRN. That's audibletrial.com/CFRN. And become a part of the audiobook revolution by downloading your free audiobook today. audibletrial.com/CFRN.
Hey, trader, want to get rich quick? Well, good luck with that. If, on the other hand, you actually want to learn how to trade, the place to be is www.cfrn.net. Tune in Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern for our daily devotional, and then spend the next 3 hours learning how it's done from professional traders who actually trade for a living. That's www.cfrn.net. Every trading day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. CFRN, a community of believers who trade for a living.
Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the CFRN Emini Futures Cast. This is the daily broadcast of Indeterminate Length, where we discuss all things Emini, along with some really big ideas on the finer points of trading gold, bonds, crude, sugar, the euro, and even T-bills. Joining us today from our studios in Boston, Mr. Michael Borth. From our trading desk in Chicago, Mr. Burton Schlichter. Now, to get things started, let's go to our host and founder in Studio A, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Here's Dwayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome back. Today is Monday, 13th day of January, 2020. Thanks so much for joining us, whoever you are, wherever you are. We're just glad to have you right here, right now. If you can't see the screen I have up, go to our homepage at CFRN.net. On the right-hand side of the page, click the big microphone, follow the instructions. You'll be registered in about 30 seconds. That will give you one-click access to the show each and every day. On the days that you're out of the office, away from the desktop, not to worry, point any internet-connected browser to cfrn.net/live, and there you'll find a live, real-time simulcast of the show brought to you by the good folks at YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. Also broadcasting live now on Facebook and Twitter. All right, today's show is going to be a bit of a brief show. Some of you may have heard there's this thing going around. I got it. I felt it coming on last week, and now it's here, but that's not even the reason. I got it out many times when I'm under the weather here on the show. But little D and Agnes, after their extended vacation with us, after their first American Christmas, it's time to put them on the big Greyhound and send them back to Africa. Now, you can't actually take a Greyhound to Africa, but to get the best pricing, you can take a Greyhound from Phoenix to LA, and from LA, you can catch a cheap flight back home to Kampala. So I have to attend to those duties today. So we're going to move through this all pretty quickly. Let me start out by giving you the numbers from around the world. These are the cash markets. And then Michael will pop in, give us a recap of everything that happened in the live training room. And then if John makes it on before I go, we'll certainly have a chat with him. And we'll take a look at the Concierge and Logic Alerts from last night. Currently here in the U.S., the Dow is up 74 points. NASDAQ is up 67. S&P 500 up 17. And the Russell 2000 up 4. In the commodity basket, crude oil down 78 cents, trading 58.26 last. Gold down $8.90, trading 15.51.20 last. In the Asian markets at the close, Nikkei up 110 points, Shanghai up 23, Hang Seng up 316 points, and that's a little over 1% for the Hang Seng. And in the European markets at the close, FTSE posted a gain of 29 points. The DAX lost 31. The CAC dropped almost 1 point. So there you have it, a green day in Asia, a red day, make that a mixed day in the UK. And so far, it's a big green radio Monday here in the US of A. Let's go to Michael if he's ready, and we'll get that recap. Michael, are you ready?
Ready. I am ready.
All right.
I am here. Yeah, I had all kinds of problems this morning, Dwayne. We had big storms last night, and
Did you?
oh yeah, and I mean the house was shaking. Jade was outside on the deck at 4 o'clock in the morning trying to get one of the cats in, and Fern, our dog, was out there trying to herd a cat in.
Was it thunderstorm or tornadoes or?
Thunder and lightning, and we had tornado warnings this weekend. Yeah,
Wow.
It's been busy. And
everybody's okay?
yeah, everybody's okay. My internet wasn't so good this morning though. When I started up, it was, I started up, and Valerie and I were going back and forth from 7 o'clock to like 9 o'clock, trying to get things figured out. And she had taken the con for a little while until I got everything worked out, because I couldn't get connected to anything. I couldn't get to the internet, but I couldn't get connected to anything else. And anyway, it all worked out. About 9:20, it all came together, and I got connected to everything. So, yeah, that was the start of my day today. It's been a long day for me, and I'm sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. I'm sorry to hear your whole family's not feeling well. And I hope that the Agnes and Pastor Chris don't bring all that back.
Well, it's little D. It's Agnes and little D, and
okay.
She's starting to feel it today. So,
that's bad news.
Lord knows, yeah, she's got a day ahead of her on a bus, and then a day's layover in LA, and then a 2 hour
cooped up in a plane,
a 2 day trip on an airplane. So, boy, yeah, not good.
No, it is spreading around. It is spreading around. I'm just gonna stay right here at home.
There you go. That's the best thing. All right, buddy. Well, I'll be here when you're done.
Okay, let me take the screens. All right, I already did. Yep, you're looking at my charts. Okay, here we go. I gotta kind of start from scratch here because everything got shut off on me several times. But here we go. If you have not, I'm sorry, good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, the 13th day of January, 2020. It's Monday the 13th. Now, if you have not taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial with us, go to the homepage at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. If you click on that, you will be brought to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. You can go directly to this page if you want to. But on this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. And you can tell us the biggest trading challenge, so we can tailor one-on-one training just for you. That's just, to let us know ahead of time what's going on with you. All right, you hit the send button and you get a confirmation link. Once you click on that confirmation link, then we know that you took the free trial. Okay, we don't know you took the free trial until you click that confirmation link. So you have to do that. All right. Okay. Now the spreadsheet, here we go. Today was incredibly slow. incredibly slow. There were no news events to move the markets whatsoever, and we didn't miss much today. And I'll get into that in just a minute. I mean, there was one trade I chose not to take because of the time of the day and because of the way the markets were. But anyway, today is the 13th day of January 2020. And today we made one tick on crude and 13 ticks on gold, put us at plus $140 a contract. Today took 70 minutes and 4 trades to get to the goal for the day. We took a total of 5 trades this morning. So on the month now, we're up $956. That's over 8 days, averaging $119 per month. On the year, same thing. It's January. Okay. So let's get into what we did or didn't do, or what didn't happen. Now, gold is where the action was this morning. Our first trade. Well, hang on. Let's go back here. We did miss these couple of trades here this morning. But I was having technical difficulties at the time. All right, so we missed those couple of trades. We would have gotten our goal for the day on the first trade had we gotten those. And we missed this one over here as well. Then we finally got it all together, and I wasn't having technical difficulties. And we picked up 5 ticks on the first trade, 4 ticks on the second trade. That put us at plus 9. And then we picked up another 4 ticks here, put us at plus 13. That was on the gold. And then it started whipping around. There were no trade setups during this whole whipping process. Right here, people might have been tempted to short. I probably wouldn't have, because the cycle was kind of flat and toward the middle. I probably wouldn't have shorted right here. Had you done that, it would have worked out just well, just fine. But that was gold. The euro had one opportunity right here. This is the one we chose not to take, because if you look at the euro, this big giant leg right here took like an hour, and it was just moving so slow that when we got to this one right here and we had the trade opportunity, and I pointed it out to everybody, I said, but I'm not going to take it because it's just taking so long for the euro to do anything. I'm not going to take it, but it is a valid trade opportunity. It's a valid long trade, and it worked out just fine. On crude, now oddly on crude today, we had one trade right here where we got a break even. And hang on, I'm trying to scroll back. There we go. In the pre-market, there was a bunch of movement. But then when the markets opened up, choppy and sideways. I grabbed this one right here once we had a lower swing in place. I grabbed this one, and I only got 1 tick out of it. Changed directions, had a momentum long right there that I missed. That went for a few ticks. Changed directions again. Now this is during the break. Had a shorting opportunity right there. Didn't put in a lower swing. It would have worked out, but it didn't put in a lower swing. And had a long opportunity right there. And that was it. All right. On the ES, we had 1 long opportunity right here. We had a break even. Then it was just choppy, all the way to 11 o'clock. Then there was a long opportunity here that I missed. Or I drew the trend line, so I must have been looking at it, but I didn't take it. It was right there. And that would have ended up break even anyway. Went up into the zone, came off the zone, went back to the zone, and now it's through the zone. And that was it for the morning session. Now, man. So today was a very frustrating day on many different levels. Not to mention the storm and everything else. Today we're up 13 ticks on gold, and it's the 13th day of January, 2020. We're plus 1 tick on crude, 13 ticks on gold, plus 140 on the morning session. It took 70 minutes and 4 trades to get to the goal for the day. At that point, we're up $100 a contract, and we took a total of 5 trades. So on the month, we're up 956. That's over 8 days, averaging 119 per day, and it's the same thing on the year. Okay, now if you have not taken the free trial with us, go to the home page here at CFRN.net. In the right-hand column, it says 5-day free trial, apply.cfrn.net. Click on that, or any of the other free trial things that you see in there, and you will be brought to this page, eminitrainingschool.com. On this page, all we ask for is your name, your email, and your phone number. And you can tell us your biggest trading challenge so we can tailor one-on-one training specifically for you. Hit the send button, and you'll be sent a confirmation link. You must click on the confirmation link. Okay, if you don't click that confirmation link, we don't know that you took the free trial. All right? All right, that's it. And with that, we can pass it back out to fabulous Phoenix, Arizona, overlooking South Mountain, America's largest city park. Dwayne, if you are ready.
I am ready.
Okay. Oh, Ronald, hang on. Let me respond to him.
You need the chart back?
No, I don't.
Guys, I don't know if I have any mentoring sessions this afternoon. I haven't checked my calendar, but I don't think I'll be there. Let me check my calendar.
4 o'clock with Jake F.
I can do it.
Can you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do it. If not, I'll send him an email.
Okay. Appreciate it. Okay. All right. So again, recap of the recap.
Today it took 70 minutes and 4 trades to get to $100 per contract.
That's good bingo. Okie doke. So let's take a look at what's happened so far this week with Logic 247. We start every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're one day, a half a day, into week 76. And as of 11:30 a.m., 10 total alerts issued, 4 still waiting, 6 actionable. One of them stopped out so far. So at this point, 17% of actionable alerts stopped out. Okay. Now, let's jump over to the Concierge Trade Alerts. And if you want to grab a screenshot of these, you can do so right now. Get those out at 6:25 p.m. Eastern last night. Same 8 markets, 4 years. S&P, Dow, Russell, Crude, NQ, bonds, 30-year bonds, gold, soybeans, and crude there. I think I covered that. Okay, so let's bring up a chart. The S&P. Get rid of this. Okay. So the Sunday night Globex open is right here. Put a little arrow because we'll be referencing that throughout the week. The S&P, we said to consider being long at or above 3276. That's right there. So the first pop take us up to 3278.25. So if you're wondering where those 2 points a day come from that you always hear everybody talking about, man, if I could just take 2 points a day out of the S&P. Well, there's 2 of them. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. So we get back below the trigger, off we go again. This time we make it up 1.5 points. So we had 2.25, 1.5, then we get back below the trigger. And on our third trigger, so far we've made it up to 32.84. So that's an 8-point move on this third trigger. Typically, on the second and third and additional triggers, typically each one represents less risk and greater profit potential. While this one had perhaps a little more risk, it is also the one that gave us more profit. So a shot at 2.25 points, 1.5 points, and 8 points. That's the S&P. All right, on the Dow. Trade Alert said, consider being long 289.05. And here we have it, another example of price walking right up to the trigger. Now there's 3 candles there at 289.05. So the market spent an hour and a half trying to make up its mind. Did it have enough buyers in the order flow to take it up to the next important price, important area overhead? The answer is no, it didn't. Now, this chart differs a little from the S&P in that we had a high, a lower high, and now an even lower high. Whereas with the S&P, we had a high, well, we had a high, a higher high, and yet a higher high. Typically, historically, the S&P and the Dow run in the same direction, hand in hand, sync in sync. Okay. The flip side of the Dow was to consider being short at or below 28,740. And as we can see, price hasn't been there. Not yet. Session's not over, so anything can and usually does happen. Okay. On the Russell, said to consider being long 1667. Appears we've just gotten there. And the flip side of the Russell was to consider being short at or below 1655. So there's 55. And the swing low was 52. So there's 3 points the market made available at $50 a point, $150 per contract traded. Okay. Moving on to the NQ. Now the NQ, there's the Globex open right there. This candle right here. And on the NQ, Concierge Trade Alerts said to consider being long 90.17. So that's going to be $90.17. So the first move up, we made it to 927. That's 10 points. The NQ pays $20 a point, so that's $200 per contract traded. Get back below the trigger. Trigger again. This time we make it up to 90.24. That's a 7-point move at $20 a point. That right there is $140 per contract traded. And then from 90.17 well, we made it up to so far. 90.66. Alexa, 66 minus 17.
66 minus 17 is 49.
Alexa, 49 times 20.
49 times 20 is 980.
Okay. So this is a
Funny,
900.
you know, when you do that and you ask Alexa that, I try to do it in my head before she comes up with the answer.
Do you get it sometimes?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good. So this was a $980 per contract move. Okay. First trigger, second trigger. So we had 200, 170, I think it was, and then almost $1,000 per contract. Now it's notable the S&P and the NQ have both put in new all-time historic highs today. On crude, last night on crude, said to consider being short 58.50. That's right about here. So the markets have not had a lot of range to them. 58.50. There we go. And the swing low, 57.97. So from 58.50, we'll call it a 50-cent move. 53 cents, $530 per contract traded. And now price has gotten back above the trigger, and it appears that it just may want to trigger a second time. Important prices, important areas are almost always tested. Alongside on the crude was 59.40, and we've not made it up there to that area as of yet. Next, gold. On gold, we said to consider being long, 15.71. Haven't seen it. Consider being short, 15.55. The swing low was 47. There we go, 15.55. So the first trigger from 55 took us down to 15.49.70. So we'll just round that up to 15.50. So that's a $500 per contract move. Open it up so you can see it a little better. So $500 per contract move. Back up to the trigger at 15.55. And then we put in a swing low at 15.49. So that's, hang on, 55 to 47. That was actually an $800 move. My apologies. This is a $500 move. And this swing high didn't quite get back above the trigger. It tried, didn't make it. But an $800 and a $500 trigger. So there you have it. That is the concierge. As for the logic, I gave you the recap so far today where we stand. Last week, here's how we finished up the week 75. Total of 52 alerts issued, 8 never triggered, 1 carried over, gave us 43 actionable alerts. 6 of them were stopped out. That's the truth about trading. So last week, 14% of actionable alerts were stepped out. Now that's for the entire week. Over the last quarter, we've averaged 14%. Over the last year, we've averaged 20%. So far this week, 16% are stopped out. It's early in the week, and the pendulum can swing both ways. We started out last night with that carryover on gold. We had an alert on the S&P, which hasn't triggered. There's the Dow, the Russell, the NQ, crude oil, the S&P, the Dow, Red X NQ stopped out, and then another go. So guys, that kind of does it for everything. We've got a sideways quiet market here. And so between how I feel and my busy schedule I've got going on, haven't heard from John yet this morning, but sometimes I know he has the Mondays just like I do. So Michael, is there anything you want to add before I shuffle out of here?
Well, today, the markets today, at the end of the session this morning, I was telling, well, even in the middle of the session this morning, I was telling the guys, if you got your goal for the day, make sure you put that mouse away. And even if you didn't get your goal for the day, today is not a good day for trading. It was not a good day for trading. The markets were just really sideways this morning. They may have gotten a little better here, but it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it's all that much better. There are no news events today to push the market. The rest of the week we have a whole bunch of news, but today we didn't have anything. And I was looking at everything, and after the frustration again, it took me an hour and a half this morning to get everything running, and I was getting so frustrated, and fortunately Val was there to take up the con if she had to.
Hey, Val.
But it turned out 10 minutes before the open, I was able to get everything going. And, I had trouble with everything this morning. I had trouble getting it to go to webinar. I had trouble getting into all my charting platforms. I haven't even tried NinjaTrader yet. And you got to send me the email for Devin so I can send him off the information he needs for the multicharts.net.
Okay.
And sorry, I just was going across the charting platforms in my mind. Ninja 7, Ninja 8, DT Pro, OEC Trader, multicharts.net, and the ones that I've tried to open up today.
So, hey, did you know that Windows 10 has a built-in screen recorder?
It does? I did not know that.
Most people don't know that. If you hold down the Windows key on your keyboard and tap the letter G.
Okay. What happens? I don't want to do it because I don't have Windows 10, I don't think.
Well, that's what happens.
Oh, hang on.
You get this.
I have. Okay.
If you didn't have Windows 10, I don't think you could get logged in to go to a webinar.
Oh, well, I must have Windows 10 then.
I think.
But, even this morning, I go to webinar wasn't letting me in either. And my cookies got all messed up. They must have, because my passwords no longer worked. And yeah, so it was a mess this morning. And
well, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so you get all this pop-up business. These are screen recordings that I've made. Shrink that down. And then over here, you make sure that your microphone is unmuted. And then you click right here, start recording. It tells you that it's recording. None of this stuff comes through in the screencast.
Okay.
And now I'm recording the screen.
I did not know that.
When I'm done, nobody did. It's hidden under the game bar. It's a feature they put in for gamers who like to record their gameplay and or stream it live. So then you hit this, stop recording, game clip recorded. And then you hit Windows key, or no, it popped it up down here. That's the video that I just made right there. All 4 minutes of it. So again, guys, for anyone in the audience, if you have need for a screen recorder with audio, you don't have to go out and buy anything. I have several different ones, but when I stumbled across the fact that this was built into Windows 10, I thought, well, let me figure out how to use it. Yeah.
I was just going to say, John just popped in.
Oh, did he? All right.
You want me to open it? Open up some more?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let him know that I've got to head out, but
Okay.
go ahead and pop over his mic.
All right, I just did.
Hey, John.
John.
So anyway, guys, Windows key and the letter G pops open the screen recorder. You got to tell it what your default microphone is, etc. It'll ask you if you want to record the desktop or a browser tab. You tell it that, and then it just works. Now, I made a long video Friday night where I was capturing the wrong screen. I was capturing a tab, and when I drug another chart over to try to record that, it didn't get it. So it's about an hour and a half of some pretty good audio. But then I redid a shortened version last night, and my whole point in doing it was to show you that price always reverts to the mean. And in regards to us, the mean is the BBC. It doesn't matter what time frame you're in, 5 minute, 30 minute, 4 hour, price always reverts to the BBC. So if a 5 minute chart allows you to assign risk based upon market structure, better than a 30 minute, better than a 4 hour, how cool would it be if you could have a 5 minute chart that runs the 5 minute BBC, the 30 minute BBC, and the 4 hour BBC all on a 5 minute chart? So I redid part 1 last night, and then tonight, if hopefully I'll fill up to it, I'll complete part 2 where you see all 3 of those BBCs on the 5 minute chart at the same time. The first part of that video, it's in the members discussion group. The first part is simply to make sure you fully understand price is always going to pull back to the BBC. Now, if it pulls back to the 5 and fails, then it becomes a very high probability that the 30 minute BBC is going to catch it and it'll hold. If it slips through the 30 minute, well, it could be a long drop to the candy shop, but when it gets to the 4 hour, good chance it's going to hold there as well. So having all these tools on one chart, the 5 minute BBC, 30 minute BBC, the 4 hour BBC, all on a 5 minute chart. I'm not going to say it makes trading easy because nothing ever does, but it can make it simple. Okay, I don't know what happened to John.
Yeah, I don't hear John coming on at all.
Okie doke. Well then, based on that, let's jump into our good word for the day, guys. And if he doesn't pop up, then I'm gonna skedaddle. Luke 8:44. She came up behind him and touched the edge of his cloak. The Bible says a woman having a flow of blood for 12 years, who had spent all of her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed by any of them, came from behind and touched the border of his garment. And immediately her flow of blood stopped. Jesus said, "Who touched me?" When all denied it, Peter and those with him said, "Master, the multitudes throng and press you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus said, "Somebody touched me, for I perceived power going out of me." And he said to her, "Daughter, be of good cheer. Your faith has made you well." Luke 8:43 through 48. Now notice what he said. Daughter, be of good cheer. Your faith has made you well. He didn't say because you touched the hem of my cloak. He didn't say that. He didn't say because I'm Jesus you are healed. He said your faith has made you well. Now, you know my interpretation of faith. Faith is not what you believe. Faith is what you do with what you believe. In the original Greek, the word's pistis. It's an action verb. We've turned it into a noun. Hey, what's your faith? Keep the faith, baby. It's not how it was originally intended. So this woman was made well by her faith, not by what she believed, but by what she did with what she believed. Now, this woman had a problem that was draining the life out of her. No doctor could cure her. So she did what what you and I need to do. She took her problem to Jesus, touched him by faith, and was made whole. Think about what she had to overcome. 12 years of suffering, a sense of hopelessness and despair because she'd spent all her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed by any of them. Then there was the crowd that thronged Jesus and stood in her way. Nevertheless, the moment her faith made contact with Jesus, she was made whole. So, what's your biggest problem today? Is it a long-term one? Is it at home? Is it on the job? Is it a health issue or a stubborn habit? Don't stop until you get to Jesus, even if that means getting down on your knees in prayer and pushing through every obstacle that stands in your way. Touch Jesus by faith today, and you too can be made whole. And that's our good word for the day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whoever you are, wherever you are, may God continue to richly bless you with his mercy and with his grace. And I'll see you at the bell.
Remember this, there is no greater return on investment than to see a human life changed and given hope. As always, pray hard and trade safe. Any financial information discussed on this show is simply the opinion of our host, Dwayne Reed, his co-host, and guest. To learn more about trading Emini Futures or to take a 1-week free trial in our live trading room, call 1-866-928-3310. 866-928-3310. Information discussed on this radio program should not be construed as a recommendation to buy or sell any security. Always do your own due diligence and consult with a licensed securities broker or financial planner before making any investment decision.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, John.
Hi there.
John, Dwayne's got to run, so I think he just ended the show.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, what a bummer.
Yeah, no, just missed it. Just missed it.
Okay.
All right, so we'll talk to you
right.
tomorrow. Okay?
All right, thanks a lot.
All right.